So you need two of the flap and one pocket. What I roll up on the board to have you guys cut one more of this front bodice piece, because on the pattern they're asking you to use the other pattern that you with the front facing and just put it on it, but I just like it have it separate, put it so you can put it in the folder separately. Okay, so just cut one more of the front and make sure you put the punch hole in there so we know where to place the pockets. So first thing you want to do is look for the notches on the pockets. That notches, it tells you where to fold on a pocket. Okay, so I'm going to fold this. This is where the fold line is, and then we're going to fold half an inch from the edge, and then we're going to sew an edge stitch. So we're going to put pretty much hemming the pocket opening. To fold half an inch seam allowance for the hemming to when we place it on the pocket. So we're going to fold half on each side. And then edge stitch. Yeah, we're going to edge this right on top of here, and then half on the bottom. So sometime once you fold it, you can kind of put it at the iron. I didn't want to run back and forth for you guys. So now what you will need to do is place, see how there's a quarter on each side where the punch hole is? You wanted the punch holes in the center. So there's quarter on each side, and you're going to go quarter above. So you want to cover the punch hole. So a lot of punch hole, there's a hole, so you want to cover that. Cover that. Pin it down the bottom. My folding is not good, doesn't look square enough, so I'm trying to fix it. So you pin this here, this, and we're going to edge stitch around the pockets. And we'll make sure you back stitch where you start and where you end. Get close, needle down, flip it around. Pockets on, and we're going to do the flap. The flap, you get a quarter seam allowance, so you're going to sew the side quarter on in an angle, quarter all the way, but not on the top here. And then we'll stop at a quarter before, same thing, turn it around. to fold a corner, I'll just bend the seam allowance on both sides, and I'll put my thumb right in here to get a really nice sharp point. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just fold your seam allowance and then get your corner. And on the bottom, sometimes I use the scissors to help her get me a good point. So you're going to turn it just around. We're going to quarter top stitch on the side, bottom on the other side. And sometimes some people do a 1/8 top stitch, or you can even do an edge stitch. It's just depending on the design or however. What they do, they look at a drawing and see what the designer want, and then you can change the top stitch if you want. But I'm just doing a quarter. You guys can do 1/8 or edge stitch if you like.
Told you, like clockwork.
I know. Every time I demo, they just want to freak me out. So now my top stitch is done. Then I can place it on here. So what you want to do is you want to center the flap. You're going to have it up on the other side. Now you leave about maybe like an 1/8 gap in between. Okay, pin it down. We're going to sew a small quarter. So we'll do a fat 8. The reason you do a small quarter is when you flip this over, you're gonna do a quarter, so you don't have any fabric. So you flip it back out the other way, and then do a quarter top stitch. So do this, and then I have another pocket.